For those wanting to keep their countertop space or simply have an extra hole on their sink top, we can install the same pure H2O filter system underneath the sink. For ease of installation, we include an open relief faucet, a bracket, screws and anchors, 3/8 compression T-fitting, and all of the hose connections. Step 1. Mounting the pressure relief faucet. First, I'd like to identify the parts included. You have a top plate, a black rubber washer, a bottom plate, and a hex nut. The top plate and the black washer will be above the sink. The bottom plate and the hex nut will be underneath. For purposes of the video, we're going to show you that the top plate and the black washer are going to be above, and once you thread the hex nut onto the top plate, it should compress against the counter. Once you get that secure, you'll have a nice tight fit. Now we're going to insert the hoses into the 7/8 to 1.5 inch hole that you've already pre-drilled or that exists on your countertop. I have removed the bottom plate and the hex nut. Now I'm coming up from the bottom side, threading in the top plate and the hex nut. We've completed the mounting of the faucet to the countertop. Now that our bracket's installed, we're going to go ahead and install our 3/8 inch T-fitting underneath the sink. First thing you're going to want to do is turn off the cold water supply line. Then you're going to want to disconnect the hoses into that cold water supply line to insert our T-fitting. After disconnecting the cold water supply line underneath the sink, we've installed the T-fitting. We've used Teflon tape in all the threaded connections. The purpose of the brass tube insert is to prevent the hose from collapsing. The white plastic sleeve will compress against the brass tube insert, and the hex nut will do the compressing. The red hose is now connected into the cold water supply line. As you can see, the faucet actually has 3 hoses. It's an open vented relief faucet. Water comes through the red line and it hits a valve at the base of the faucet that prevents it from going into these next 2 tubes. So without the faucet on, you don't have to have this filter system connected at this point. The next step is to insert the inlet hose into the A side, which is going to be the white hose. The A side is labeled A, of course, and it just pushes straight into this gray fitting. To test it, you can pull out. You can see it won't come out. The next step is to install the B hose or the blue hose. And the same thing, it just simply inserts. You'll feel a click and you can test it by pulling. So now the inlet and the outlet hoses are connected. You can insert it into the bracket. You will notice that water continues to run after I shut it off. This is meant to happen as we're relieving pressure from the filter. This will be more pronounced immediately after installation as the cartridges become saturated. Well, all this demonstration is making me pretty thirsty, so I'm going to go ahead and take a drink of this pure H2O filtered drinking water.